actually a cigar.
Oh,
Yes.
well,
we're not quite that violent.
Well, I was gonna say, like I told you before, law enforcement family. So I just see bullets instead of a cigar.
What would Freud say?
The happy hour vibrator has been having all kinds of nicknames.
Oh man, yeah. Wait until See, this is definitely a Freudian logo you've got going on.
What do you?
I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. We're gonna drink a fine whiskey and smoke a really fine cigar.
It is time for happy hour. It's the Man Cave Happy Hour. Whiskey, cigars, spirits, the stories that go along with it. I'm Jamie Flanagan.
And I'm August Gitschlag.
Hey, August. I like that hat, man.
You know, I get a lot of compliments on
supporting
this
October in the NFL.
This is the people ask about this hat all the time. I was at the Elks Lodge in Ferndale yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And
that's my home lodge for the Elks.
Yeah, and I was there for the game, and all these guys come. Where did you get your hat? I love it. I love your hat.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I told them where I got it, and they're sold out. You can't get them.
Oh.
Yeah. And then everyone's wearing them on TV, and they're all like, "Oh, you got the same hat as Jared Goff."
Yeah. So. He stole mine.
Yeah, I had it first.
The weekend. Football, things are crazy here, and in the fall I like to drink wine.
I do too. I bottled up a bunch of wine recently.
You're but I'm not a wine connoisseur, and that's again the whole deal with the Man Cave Happy Hour is we like to learn, and we like to bring in professionals to help us learn. And so we have a professional today because we came across an article. We were going to talk about wines, and there were budget wines because I'm cheap. But we figured we'd bring in a professional. So with us today, we have Mrs. Vino, Kristen Carlson. Kristen, welcome to the Man Cave.
Thank you, guys. Hi. I appreciate you.
Is it right on the sign there? It's a podcast for everyone.
Yes.
Right. So it's on the sign. So it's the Man Cave. We're like, well, that's a little sexist. But
it just the cave is kind of weird.
It just rang. It just rang.
What are you supposed to call it? Man cave and she shed hour? I
mean,
it's not going to work.
We've had some she shed hours.
We did. We have. Yeah. We've had ladies' nights, and I've just turned it over to some of our lady friends and just kind of enjoyed the party. But I was going through and I came across, I believe, a magazine, Wine Enthusiast. You get all this junk mail, Facebook feed. I don't know where it came through, but it was 100 wines under $20 you have to try in 2024, and I'm like, all right, well, there's only 3 months left. That's an ambitious list.
She's trying to get us there with all the wine that's here.
There is a plethora of wine in the studio tonight. But I wanted to try some of those wines off of the cheap list, but I wanted to get somebody to help us talk about that. So we're going to dive into the wines. We got the Murphy Good. We got some 1924. And then Boggle and Decoy, and then there's you brought some surprises for us, Kristen.
I did. I brought some Napa wines, Michigan wines, and some Star Wars themed wines.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So we'll get into
Han
that.
Solo boy here. All right. So, but before we do that, Kristen, tell me about your childhood.
About my childhood.
Yes.
That's important. Yeah. Grew up in the outskirts of Chicago, suburbs of Chicago.
All right.
I have a little sister. She's actually a deputy in Lapeer County.
Oh, yay.
And then, yes. So big law enforcement family. Her husband is Oakland County. And my dad has been in home construction for many, many decades, and I actually help him build. I know it doesn't look like it right now, everyone, but I do physical construction labor, and I get dirty. So
when we were texting, you're like, I'm on a construction site. I'll get to you later.
I did. Yes, I did. So part of my childhood was me and my little sister and my dad, and my awesome mom. She's a therapist, so she keeps everybody well-rounded in the family.
Saves money in the long run.
It does.
Have one in the family.
Yeah. Childhood, it was great. Horseback
What brought
riding.
you to Michigan from Chicago? When did you transfer to Michigan, the Metro Detroit area?
Yeah, so that was Dad. He was getting transferred over to work for a luxury home builder. So we love Detroit ever since we moved here, and that was when I was a teenager. And love it. I mean, this is one of the most beautiful states And I'm not just saying that because we live here, but honestly, that 45th parallel, we'll talk about this. This is
Yes.
segueing into the wine. Okay.
Yes.
August knows what I'm talking about.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. 45th parallel.
It's amazing.
Perfect growing.
It's interesting.
area.
You can
Mhm.
find in Michigan, depending on the time of the year, nearly any sort of geographic. Yeah, we have hills. We don't have mountains, but we got hills. We got sand
Mhm.
dunes.
Mhm.
We have beaches. We have lakes the size of some oceans.
And the colors right now are getting better.
The
and better.
color-
Oh, yeah.
You can
I drove out
find
west side
any
of the
sort
state
of
yesterday.
geographic, woods. We have city, we got urban. In Michigan, there's everything. There
Mhm.
literally, you're hard pressed to find some sort of geographic, because we got the sand dunes. It's like a desert,
Mhm.
Yeah, we got everything.
I love this. People are, I'm gonna leave. I teach high school. Kids get so I can't wait to get out of here. I'm gonna leave. I'm like, go.
They'll come back.
It's
They'll come back.
this is my
I
town.
can't wait to move to Florida. Have fun with your
Yeah,
hurricanes.
oh my god,
Yeah.
my entire
Florida
family,
guy.
my entire family left me and went to Florida, and I'm taking pictures of the deer in my yard. And I live right at 16 in Adams, right by Somerset Mall. Collection, and there's like this
Collection,
herd
yes.
of deer coming through my yard, and it's like, and I'm sending my brother. I'm like, what do you got? And he takes a picture of the alligator that swims in the canal outside of his house. I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. Can't let his dog out in the yard because the gator will eat him.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I love Michigan. So you got to take.
So
it
I want to
forward.
get back into the wine here.
Yo, yeah.
And I'm
Mhm.
going to
So
ask, what part of your youth did you decide that you wanted to drink wine?
when did
Definitely not youth.
when did that Boone's Farm kick in?
Oh gosh, or Mad Dog 22. Did I just reveal my age a little bit? Yeah, I
Yes,
probably
you're right
did.
with us. Yeah.
No, it was honestly, I was in the cybersecurity IT industry for many years, and it wasn't
drove you to
until
drink.
probably. But no, it wasn't until I don't know, 2018. I've always been an organic gardener, so I love gardening. I love
Okay.
growing. We have a roadside produce stand, and that's
Aw.
always something that's been near and dear to my heart, is growing something and transforming it. So what is one of the largest transformations? Fermenting or making wine.
Fruit salad.
So there you go.
Wine.
Yeah, so there you go. So no, wine has always been of interest in me. How it's, you take a grape and transform it into something that's beautiful, that talks about that region, that area. So like I had mentioned, the 45th parallel in the northern and southern hemisphere, that's where grapes thrive.
Yeah.
And we're lucky enough to where you go up to Traverse City, and where are you at?
Wine
45th
country.
parallel.
Yeah, that's why we as
It's,
growing up, we always had German wine made in Michigan. My
Yeah.
dad always says, because it's the same climate up there as they
That's
have in
correct.
Bavaria. It's the same climate, but
I-
don't touch the reds because they're always too light.
Oh,
I was
They're
going to
always
say
too light.
we need like about 6 shows, because we could do a whole show
Yeah.
just about Traverse City wine and Michigan wine and the
mhm.
reds and the whites. And is there anything worth a darn once you get out of the whites?
You got it. I
it's
brought
a
I brought
really,
some good ones.
really
Okay.
good.
Mhm.
But so a sommelier, right? Am I
Yes,
saying that right?
Sommelier.
Sommelier.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you're a professional sommelier. Well, how do you become that? What made you want to do that, and how did you become that?
Yeah, so becoming a certified sommelier, there's a couple different schools or institutions that you can go to, and the level that I have is level 2
Mhm.
through WSET, so Wine, Spirits, and Education Trust.
Okay.
And then I also studied my CSW, so Certified Specialist of Wine. And there's Court of Master Sommeliers, and I'm probably missing a couple others, but I'm always learning, always growing. I don't know everything. I don't want to know everything. I don't want to be that person. It just happens to be that my IT background, securing Mrs. Vino, the IP. I'm like, this is a gold mine. Let's just go into it.
How did you get MrsVino.com?
I'm
That
not
is
going to
brilliant.
tell you how much I paid for it.
Oh,
people
you
won't
did.
believe
You did
me.
have to. You did
People
have to
won't
buy
believe,
it.
all right,
Okay,
I'll
fair
tell
play.
you, it's $20. It's
Oh my
$20.
Nice work.
Well played.
Yeah,
Daddy
well
was
played,
there
right?
for you that day.
Yeah,
Huh?
thanks,
Hey.
Daddy. No, so it's just
That is
yeah, so
great.
it depends on how you want to use your certification or your level of knowledge, or what your why are you getting into it. And for me, my why is I'm a storyteller. I'm also a writer, so I contribute for Edible Wow, which is a culinary focused magazine. And I just like telling the stories about the grape or the region or that fourth generation, family. They're all farmers at the end of the day, you guys.
Right? Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. I grew up horseback riding, shoveling poop, and I love that barnyard smell. And then you get some sommeliers that, they're like, oh yes, I smell the barnyard. It's like, have you ever touched poop? Have you touched it with your bare hands? You probably haven't.
Have you fallen
I'm
back?
gonna pass on that part of the wine education. The playing with horse shit. We're gonna leave that out of my educational dossier here. But I trust you. I completely believe you that that's a real.
Yeah. You know what? Don't worry. I'll tell
take
you
your word for
I'll
it.
tell you if it's donkey or if it's horse or
boy.
cow. All right.
All right. So, you've taken that. You've taken your expertise and Mrs. Vino, the website, mrsvino.com, and you've turned it in. You get your entrepreneurial spirit. You do like curated little parties, and you have a chef you work with yes?
I do.
So tell me about the Mrs. Vino and the services you provide.
Yeah. So essentially I'm a consultant.
Should we be drinking while we do this?
I think we should.
That's a really good idea.
Tell me,
we all let each other down on that
so
one, guys.
out of all of these, right? So out of this top 2, we'll talk about the top 100 lists. Is there something that we should try that as our opener?
Yeah, we're gonna do a palate cleanser. We're gonna do the C3PO. Let's get into it.
He's like a massive Han Solo fan.
Okay, so first,
all right,
wine education, right? Whenever you open,
you need a machete for the ones with the
sabrage, actually. And I do have one of those at home. But we can call it a machete if that makes you really excited.
It makes me happy with machete, yes.
So yeah, when you open a sparkling, you always I tell any of my staff or my students, I make a note to them that
you don't want to Rex Roth that thing.
You don't ever Oh no.
Oh,
fireworks,
sorry.
pew pew, not good.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was
I'll take that one back.
That was a bummer. No, so for opening anything that's sparkling, you have to be very careful because did you know the PSI behind this? It can go up to 70 miles per hour.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, I've seen it on TikTok. I've seen all the Instagram reels of people being shot in the face with sparkling wine corks.
It's not something that you're messing around with. And hopefully this has been sitting still. Were you shaking this around when you were carrying it up the stairs? I guess we'll find out. But yeah, so this is called C3PO, and it's from Big Little Winery up in Sutton's Bay. And I used to work for these gentlemen. So Mike and Pete Lang. Oh, thank you. Are you prepping?
Just in case. We're spillers over here. I had to get the paper towel because we're spillers on this side.
Yeah, so this one, obviously an ode to Star Wars. And I tried to make it as silent as I could.
No, the sound is part of it.
Yeah,
we're broadcasting.
We love
sound
the,
is important.
We love the crack. Yeah,
we open everything.
Fresh crack.
Yeah, you try to make it as quiet as you can. So here, Jake.
So this is a sparkling wine, not a champagne,
correct.
Because it's got to be from France and Champagne, France, or something like that,
you
right?
Got it. So
still
this
probably
is going to
champagne
be
yeast and all that. They use.
Yeah, so this is traditional method. That's correct. So Champenois method or method traditional. So there's 3 different Pinots in here. So there's Pinot Blanc, Pinot Gris, and Pinot Noir. So that's why it's C3 Pinot.
Okay.
Let's see that.
So it's not
here,
licensed from Lucasfilm or Disney then.
No, it's not. It's actually long story. Oh, there's a P. Diddy connection here. Remember that story?
I was not there. It wasn't me.
Yeah,
no, I never went to that party.
C3 Pinot. This was actually, I think this name was acquired by the winery. Somehow there's some type of weird. All right, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yes.
Like I said, we gotta have you around. Like, I think we need 10 episodes. You need your own podcast. I know a place you can record it.
I'm game. I gotta get my slurps in there. That's what a pro does.
All right.
What do you guys think? It's crisp, light. This is a good palate cleanser.
I was gonna say crispy.
Drink
it's
some
like
of these.
The perfect temperature too. It's not too cold. So because it gets too cold, when you don't taste anything, you just kind of slug it down.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, August, you know your stuff. You're making your
wine.
Not
really. I make one. You could put 5 different styles of wine in front of me, and I might be able to guess 3 of them.
Yeah.
I'm not, and I might get lucky on the 4th. I make wine that I like to drink. My favorite one is I make a blackberry Pinot with organic blackberry juice. That just is a huge hit in the family. Those things go like as soon as I get that done, they're like, give me a bottle. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that I make, and you know,
fun. Yeah, you got to
make fun stuff.
Yeah, it's whatever your palate enjoys. You know, I tell people all the time, there's no correct answers or wrong answers as far as what it is that, because people ask me, what should I like? Just like what you like. Just be genuine.
Well, I tell you what, and making wine is easy. It is much easier than brewing beer. You're not cooking stuff up. It's much easier than distilling. Literally, you put some stuff together and you watch it gurgle for a couple weeks, and then you clean it and filter it and bottle it and drink it. It's like bing, bang, boom.
Yeah.
So it's all about where you get your juice from. I'm currently using a guy in Washington State is where all my stuff comes from.
Yeah. So yeah, the northwestern area of the United States, Washington State, Oregon, awesome fruit, especially Willamette. It's Willamette, damn it.
Willamette, damn it.
Damn it.
I'm familiar with Willamette because of the Tony Kornheiser show, the podcast. The people from Willamette are on all the time. They send him wine. He talks about it.
Oh,
yeah. He met the Willamette people on vacation, and they come on his podcast all the time. Tony Kornheiser is a writer for the Washington Post. It's on PTI on ESPN.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah. So
it's like apple, like a green apple or peach pear. Kind of. It's a fruity. It's not fruity, but there's fruit.
Right. Yeah. You've got it.
It's not fruity, but
there's not the sweetness. People automatically, when they say fruit, they equate it to sweetness.
No, it's not sweet.
Yeah, it's not fruity, but there's fruit in it. I like it because I don't always get a fruit from a sparkling or a champagne. I picked up at Keiko's. Have you been to Keiko's Market?
Yes, they were clients of mine.
Oh, yeah. Joe and Giovanni. We went to U of M Dearborn together. I didn't realize that until I'm in there kibitzing with them, and they were like, it ended up talking about college and. We went to college together, but great guys, and they have a champagne right now that it's made from the Dom Perignon grapes, and it's the only one that can have the monk on it. That's not Dom Perignon because it comes from that region and from those grapes, but it's not Dom Perignon, and it's reasonable at like $30 for the bottle. Nice. I haven't cracked it yet. I bought a pair.
Okay. So
we're gonna crack them. But anyway,
what's the price point on a bottle like this?
So for this one, I mean,
CP30?
I'm taking a shot in the dark because it's been a couple years since I sold this into the market. But I think you can find this one for under 40, between 35 and 40, which isn't bad for.
Well, what's a bottle of White Star cost now? Because that's and Vouv. Those are the ones everyone grabs, right?
Oh yeah, just so you know, Vouv. That just means house. So Veuve Clicquot, it's the House of Clicquot, black and yellow label. That's what people know. So you can have like Veuve de Fournaise. So that's
I have seen the other one.
Yeah, so those ones are good. So yeah, it's marketing. It's those colors and Veuve. Honestly, I'm not trying to throw anyone on the bus, but I would rather have.
Well, that was my whole point. Was something like this? Is it a price point compared? Would I replace that with this?
You could, but like Jamie had said, there's more fruit.
Yeah, it's not the dry champagne that people are sometimes used to.
Yeast. So when you go to like Keiko's or whichever, I always tell people, please go to your local wine shops. The mom and pop shops. Please support
Cost
them.
Plus and Eastern Market. It's my dad's cousins.
Yeah, please support them and tell them. I want a nice dry. Low RS, which means residual sugar, champagne style.
And they will take the time.
They will take care of you.
So it's we got our favorite guys. We got Tony Batu over at the Wine Garden. We got Yvonne up at A&B Liquors, and then the Keiko's brothers over at Keiko's. Joe and Giovanni,
the
good
whole
people.
McCarthy family at Cost Plus is my dad's cousins down in Eastern Market. So I go.
And when you go in there, and it wasn't like because it was I'm on a podcast, and it was like I was just a guy in the store, and just I have a question, and it was like the first couple times I was in there, I wasn't like this long time customer, and they were treating me like I was a long time customer. Each of these places, I really enjoyed the experience. But so the local, and you'll find because I was at another one down Woodward, closer to 11 Mile by that goofy car clock sign. I don't even know what it's called, but the guy was such a jerk. And it's like, I'm looking for bourbon. I'm like, yeah, do you got anything fun? He's like, well, you don't shop here enough for me to show you anything.
Whoa.
And I'm like, and I won't.
Yeah. Goodbye.
You just sealed the deal, brother. All right. So yeah, it was like, but these other places I go in and they're just arms open. It's you got to find those places. So they're around. Find them. People listen wherever, worldwide, nationwide.
I'm gonna tell you, I really like the lingering aftertaste I'm getting from this.
Yeah,
it's not like an alcohol taste. It's not like a chemically. It's a nice lingering feel.
We were gonna sip that while you told us about your business. Your
Oh,
your
yes,
yeah. Well, we
yes.
gotta pour something
We
else then
got-
while we start talking.
Yeah, we got so
So-
excited. I mean, this is just
So we
how I
cleanse
get.
the palate.
We cleanse the palate. Now
And
we're ready
then-
for storytelling.
Yes,
So we're
exactly.
ready for storytelling.
That's what
So
we
do
do.
we want to have something while we're storytelling?
Yeah, if you
Um,
want to, let's why don't you crack into one of your bargain buys?
Which one? Yeah, which one would you say? So now this 1924, the one on the list wasn't the
I've
bourbon.
had that.
That's gonna be that
I've had
just
that.
yeah. So anything that's
It's a cab, but
mm,
it's the double black. It was the double black, but this one's
Mhm.
barrel aged.
mm-hmm,
They didn't have the straight up. And then there's the boggle.
mm-hmm.
I hadn't heard of it because my wife and I we'll go through a couple bottles of wine here and there.
Yeah.
And so we you know if you're blasting through one,
Was that
in the hot tub.
1924 from like Aldi?
no, it's I got
I'll
it.
be,
at-
I'll be
I got it
honest,
at K.
August,
Rogers.
I've never gone to Aldi for my wine. Do you know where I go to shop for my wine if I'm not getting it from friends?
Trader Joe's.
You got
Yeah.
it. Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Trader
other one.
Joe's has
Mhm.
got really
They
great
do, they
bargain
do.
wines.
Yeah, they got good wine for the
Yeah.
price.
Mm-hmm.
Was it?
That
It
are
was like
rare too.
that $5 chuck.
Oh my gosh. No, back
It used to be
It
Back
used
in
to
the
be.
day,
That
it
was 15,
used-
20 years
yeah.
ago.
$2
Yeah.
chuck.
back
then
in
it's
the day
gone
was
up.
two.
$2
Yeah.
chuck.
But they actually make so that same producer, they have organic wines now.
Yeah. Oh,
And I think it's like $7 a bottle. So
Ah,
I've
there
gotten
you
like
go.
their Pinot Grigio. It's fine. But anyways, yeah, pick whichever you want.
Well,
and-
I
and
like
let's
that you're
pour.
not too snobby. That one doesn't even have a cork. That's a crack off
I'm
the
fine
top,
with
and
that.
I think that's not a game changer for
It's not.
someone who's
that's
goes to slurp
been
sounds.
a thing. People want corks, but really, actually, the screw tops are actually a little better for the wine and
You have
storage.
Yeah, you have to ask why you don't want a screw top. So the reason why you want a cork, a real cork, not a synthetic cork,
Yeah.
it's a living, breathing organism. So it changes with the humidity and the temperature. That's
Mhm.
why you have your cellar set at 55 degrees and 75% humidity, so that there is an exchange of air with that wine. I know people are like, well, no, that oxidizes
can
it. No, it
oxidize it,
doesn't.
yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
You have to have that living, breathing cork so that it can age. Whereas a screw top or synthetic cannot age, will not age. So that is just as fresh as the day that they put that in the bottle.
Kind of
Just
like a
as
bourbon,
fresh. You got it.
right?
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
crack
but
it
bourbons
open.
once you
Give it a
put it in the
shot.
bottle. All right. So yeah, so
Make a
it's
crack sound. There you
crack,
go.
crack, crack,
See, it's distinct. You hear it through the
Fresh.
headphones.
fresh crack. Should I rinse my glass?
We have more glasses if you want to keep a
Ah,
white.
we
If you
ain't
want to
that-
be fancy and
we
do
ain't
a
that-
white and a red glass, I'm gonna be fancy over here and have my white and red glass.
Oh, see, there you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
I ain't gonna waste my rinse water.
All right. Is there a proper way to, well, without spilling it on the table would probably be a proper way.
That's a start. That's a
So
start.
Murphy,
this
good.
is
So
Murphy
I
Good.
haven't had. Is this the cab? Is this
It
their
is. This
Cabernet
is the cab.
Sauvignon?
That's a Cabernet.
So
So
yeah.
I've had their Zinfandel. It's called Liar's Dice, and I believe it's one of their higher end offerings versus, you got this for under 20, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I've had their Zinfandel before, but I haven't had this 2021. So 2021, decent year for Napa. 2020 was really
And
bad
when
out.
Murphy
people-
Good coming in at $11.99 off
yeah,
the Kroger shelf.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. When people think of
Uh,
Zinfandel, they always think of the pink wine. And
I
old vine zins
know.
are delicious and they're dark and they're
Correct.
flavorful. And
Yeah.
I really it's like one of my favorite styles. I see it on a menu. I go
Yes.
for an old vine zin.
Yes.
Like, you're gonna get pink wine. I'm like, trust me, it's not pink
No,
wine.
Yeah, no, a lot of same with like
That steers me away from them, though. It does.
yeah, and that's where proper education, whether you're going to a restaurant and having your server, present that and tell you, or if you're going into a store,
Right.
you'll get a good wine steward who's like, oh no, we've got a really beautiful Zinfandel that's full of fruit and it's stewed and it lingers on the tongue and it's great with a big
It's
steak.
getting those Lodi old vine grapes it's expensive because they're smaller because
Mhm.
they're near the end of their lifespan. So
Mhm.
the vines, and so they get the smaller. So you got to get a lot more of them. But yeah, I made a batch and it was delicious. And I love drinking old vine zin at the Caucus Club.
Ooh, do you have any old vine zins?
I don't have any.
Oh,
No.
you drank it all, didn't
All I
you?
have, all I have right now is a Spanish Tempranillo and my Walla Walla
Well,
Winter White.
I'm excited to try that.
Yeah.
Both of them. But
All
yeah,
right.
this is decent. I mean, for $11.99 at Kroger, I mean, come on, you can't go wrong for
It has a 91 rating. So what are the ratings? So we got the
Hmm.
90.
That's an
This
excellent
says,
question, Jamie.
is that like a lot of horse manure?
Well-
How many times are going to reference horse shit in this podcast?
Oh, probably
today?
a lot.
A lot
Probably
more.
a lot. Yeah, I think as far as the points go, whether it's Wine Spectator or you have, like when you have the critics like Antonio Galoni or Karen McNeil or James Suckling, I respect their opinions and their palates, but again, every palate is different. They are searching for certain key factors in the balance of, nose, acidity, residual sugar, tannins, the structure. So they know what their scorecard, kind of looks like. But at the end of the day, you just use it as, like, to answer your question, Jamie, just use it as a guide. Especially if you don't have anyone to talk to at a store or a restaurant.
I mean, you'll see the little tag hanging off the shelf that says 91 wine something or other, and you're like,
because you're like, oh, if James Suckling likes it, I might like it too. Yeah. So it's a good indicator for a wine that you should try. But again, don't steer yourself away from something that hasn't been critiqued by someone who's like a wine god.
So on this list of 100, there's probably 40, 45 of them that have ratings on them, and the other ones don't. And so this list on Wine Enthusiast that kind of sparked this idea. But as we're sipping on this Murphy Good. Tell me about the service that you provide, your entrepreneur adventure of curating tastings for people in their homes.
Yeah, so that's just one little part of what I do. Jamie, very much like you and August, you guys are storytellers. You just utilize a different platform than me. So I'm a consultant, and whether that's a wine shop that needs help with improving their sales numbers, or a restaurant that needs to have a wine list created for them or redone for them, or wine pairings with chefs, wine dinners. So yeah, the in-home stuff, that's a very, very small portion.
Okay.
All right.
But
I do have a chef
So you're
partner.
a consultant.
Yeah, so essentially a consultant, which covers, that's
party
a nice
stores, restaurants.
Yeah.
Just anybody who needs information about wine, you'll sit down and coach them through wine selections.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Right.
And
whatever
then
the reason be.
Yeah, and then I love storytelling. I love entertaining. So that's kind of where I like to do more of the intimate settings with individuals and coming to their home. But at the end of the day, it's anybody who's willing to experience the depth and breadth of knowledge that I have. And like I said, I don't know everything, and I don't want to know everything. But more, I'm passionate about it. I left a very lucrative IT industry in order to.
Her DD husband, it's kind of like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
I was like, my wife
IT.
quit her job 2 years ago. I retired. I'm like, is that how that works? You just stop. You just stop going.
So, for example,
can I sign up for that? Because I'd really like to stop going. So, but you're doing 40 other things. So,
yeah. Copywriting. That's one of my. So that's a little bit of a newer avenue and adventure for me. That kind of the opportunity came to me, fell in my lap to write this article specifically on non-alcoholic beverages. So it was all Detroit based.
Seems to be a hot thing these days.
Very
People
much
spending a lot of money to not have booze in their drinks.
Well, I'll tell you this, August. Now that marijuana is legal, people are trying to, and inflation. All right, are we spending money on weed today, or are we spending it on wine?
On a $17 cocktail,
or a $17 cocktail that has ashwagandha and some, mushroom powder in it.
Right.
But I'll tell you this:
lavender spritz.
I'll tell you this: at the end of the day, again, just like wine and your palate, whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you happy, just do what makes you happy.
It's so funny when we talk to you talk to connoisseurs, right? Professionals and people that are selling it, and people that are consulting and doing things like you're doing. They're like, do what you like, right? And distributors and distillers, they're like, how should we drink it? Should you mix it? Should you ice? It's on the rocks, or should you chill it? And they're like, I don't care. Just buy a second bottle.
Yeah, they
drink it the way, and that's the message. Drink it the way you like it. Drink it the way you like it. And for the distributors or for the the producers, the distillers, they're like, just buy a second bottle, please.
Oh, I'll tell you, I've made some brewers very angry by mixing their beers at festivals. If you try the barley wine with this Eisbach put together, it's delicious. And you see steam starting to come out of their ears. Like, I made a perfect product. I'm like, yeah, well, it's delicious this way, so why don't you just let me buy it?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's just the same as
like,
not having salt or pepper on the table at certain restaurants. And when you ask for it, the culinary team gets very angry. And it's like, guys, every palate's different. Like, maybe that person doesn't have any salt taste buds left.
Hey, I'm going to ask for some ketchup in a minute. So brace yourself.
I knew the ketchup and well done steak was coming next. I knew it was coming next.
Hey, as long as it's in-house, scratch-made organic ketchup, nobody should be complaining, right? Just give them the ketchup.
Oh boy,
that's scratch made. But all right. So the Mrs. Vino, they're gonna find links to have your consulting or to do private things or to connect with you for all those. I just the look of is a great website. The photography. It's very slick.
Thank you.
It's good looking stuff. So I'm always jealous because I made mine and I'm like,
so I want to ask real
it's
quick,
trash.
How we if I wanted to throw a wine and cheese party for my girlfriend and her 7 friends or something and her mom on as a gift for her birthday, is that something that we could hire you to do?
Absolutely.
And that's you come in and say, I want 4 different wines, I want 4 different cheeses, and you're gonna tell some stories and facilitate the giggles.
You got it.
That's okay. So that's exactly what I thought, but I just wanted to get that out there as an example of what people can call and use your services for.
And it's whatever vibe you're going for, right? If you want it very elevated and elegant and refined, which I'm sure you saw on the website. I opened up a wine bar and I was wearing ball gown or evening wear dresses and high heels.
I'm wearing a Cruel Intentions shirt.
I love it. Oh my gosh,
tiger jacket. So I'm not all that refined.
I love it.
We are a classy bunch.
No, so it can be whatever level you want to be at. Do you want it to be party time and you just want me to bring bubbles that are cheap and easy to go down? Cool. I'm fine with it. You want to mix some Boone's Farm in there? Go right ahead.
That's where you contrast and compare.
But if you would like to have, a very deep conversation and storytelling about, the specific Bordeaux that's, 50 years old, and the way that I have to pull the cork out is going to take me about 20 minutes because I don't want to get any cork in your wine, and then we have to filter it. So there's always different levels, and I like to play with both of those, whether it's very refined, very proper, or if you just want to have some fun. At the end of the day, we're all gathering together, right? Whether it's friends or family, and you're tasting and learning about whatever it is that's in your glass. And however much you want me to talk or not talk, fine. You're paying me, so tell me what you want.
So I have another question. This is
sir.
one that the kind of question I have when I'm in the wine aisle at a store. Am I paying extra money just because it says Coppola or Snoop Dogg, or is it actually good stuff for these celebrity wines that you see? Because we've had not the best experiences with celebrity bourbons and spirits.
Yeah, they're usually young and dumb.
I was going to say, is the juice young? Is the juice young? It's probably something that's obviously not. Well, I don't want to generalize.
But the thought being, is there like one of those celebrity wines you're like, this was worthwhile? Don't be worried because it has Snoop Dogg's face on it. It's actually good stuff. It's not just pumping out a junk product with trying to sell with his face on it,
Coppola was a good one. Where you at with
I've had
Coppola?
some friends that like that.
Yeah, Francis Coppola wines, obviously we love and adore him because of his cinematography contributions to the world, right? And, Italiano. So you got to think, all right, there's got to be some good wines coming out of Coppola estate.
Sure.
And there are. And again, there is a quantity aspect to those certain, like these wines that we have here, gentlemen, in front of us, the bargain buys, these are quantity. So almost every year, almost every vintage is going to be really similar to one another because they want to keep that consistency. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's their blend. That's their art, their craft.
Got
it. The Bud Light pledge.
The Bud Light pledge.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it. It's gonna be the same crappy Bud Light wherever you go.
Yeah.
You're gonna know exactly what it's gonna be.
Well, I like PBR, but that's
Yeah.
just me.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
All right.
So,
but you know what you're getting.
yeah,
each and every time.
exactly. So you know what you're getting, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, if you want to have, some wines that are, less of the quantity and more focused on the quality, and you have to, as a drinker, as a consumer, realize, hey, this 2020 versus this 2021 is going to be vastly different. You want to know why? Because it's only 80% cab versus last year it was 100%. So that's
blend, right.
80% cab
Mhm,
plus
mhm.
20 Merlot plus,
Yeah.
or whatever. So there's nothing wrong with the bargain wines because every time you open it, especially screw top, it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
Well,
These
that's
almost
funny.
never
That's
fail.
the barefoot
We-
wine pledge.
Yeah.
I was talking about how Colleen and I would drink like budget wines. There's a Magistrate, right? And she was jamming on the Magistrate. It was like
Mhm.
2019 or 2020, one of the two, whatever. And then all of a sudden the date jumped and there were 21s and 22s and not the 2020 anymore. And we're like, oh, and she was like, no, not so much.
Different. Yep.
It was different. It shifted. And so, she's like, I'm on my way home from work. What should I get? She's like, well, get some Magistrate if it's whatever the year was. And we, at this point, we've given up because that year is like, it's not popping up on the shelf anymore.
Right.
But yeah, so it's like, it's interesting that just that within that brand, it shifted on us. And so we found another cheap one to drink in the hot tub.
So now that it's made its appearance on camera, you have to explain what the green juice is, the Hulkamania.
Okay, so
the Hulkamania.
Yeah,
there,
so
or
I, as a sommelier, whenever I go to tastings, obviously I'm constantly spitting out my wine, but 10% of that resides and just is absorbed. So I popped some charcoal pills. You guys, I brought a whole big jar if you want some.
I saw that.
But this is kind of like my secret palate cleansing mix. So there's colloidal silver, there's some alkaline drops, chlorophyll, and some other stuff in there. But it doesn't taste like anything because people are like, well, doesn't the chlorophyll? No, it doesn't taste like anything.
All right.
So yeah, so that's my Hulk juice.
Secret
That's my Hulk juice.
Secret sauce.
Chlorophyll.
Secret sauce.
It's, not to be cute.
Chloroform.
No,
yeah.
it's not chloroform.
Yeah, you're upright.
Yeah, you guys are okay.
Does that
You're
smell like
okay over
chloroform
here.
to you?
Yeah.
This smells like chloroform to you. Nice.
Okay. All right. Moving along. I wanted to take that one back too. All right.
All right. So let's give our listeners a bit of free advice here. It's coming up on the holidays, and you have to go to Thanksgiving dinner. It's turkey. It's a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, and you got to have something that everyone's going to like. What are you leaning towards style-wise for a full meal of Thanksgiving turkey and yams and mashed potatoes and stuff and things?
There's two varietals that I always go to. One is going to be a red and one's going to be a white. And the first one that I'm going to mention can come very different styles. Riesling. So we all know the Riesling grape, right? So yes, Germany, Alsace.
First
France.
one I ever made was a Riesling.
Yeah. So up north, they make some really beautiful Rieslings, and it can vary. It depends on the winemaker and the producer. Do they want to make it very dry? Do they want to make it semi-dry? Do they want to make it sweet? So I always tell individuals, especially around the holidays, get something that's semi-dry, get something in the middle. So grandma's happy, aunt's happy, and you're not drinking a sugar bomb. And then as far as a red that's palatable and light and easy, a Chianti. I have
Was
Italian.
not expecting that. That's excellent.
Okay. So I'll tell you why.
Because typically, spaghetti basket,
typically I say Pinot Noir, but Chianti is made from the Sangiovese grape, so it's a light to light medium red, and it's very palatable. And I have Italian heritage, so I have to. I gotta put some Chianti in there.
Is most of the Chianti we see at the grocery store is just cheap, crappy Chianti that you're eating with spaghetti on Tuesdays on Prince Spaghetti night?
So there's different designations of origin. So I'm sure you're aware,
I'm sure I'm not.
That's all right. No,
I'm
just assuming, sir. What you've got
wine,
your wine.
I
right.
don't know it all that well. I just enjoy making it and drinking it.
Yeah. So Chiantis can run the gamut, right? Just like some of these bargain wines over here. You have to do a little bit of research, or again, talk to the wine stewards. They want nothing more than to, hopefully, they want to help. I mean, in your instance, you didn't have a really good experience, but
I was looking for bourbon.
Yeah,
anyway.
you're looking for bourbon. Oh, that's
different.
why. Yeah, a little
It's a
bit
much more
angrier.
snobby hunter
Yeah.
community. It's a different community of people.
So with Italian wines, there's different rules and regulations. So there's like DOC, DOCG. So for Chiantis, you can get Chiantis that are very affordable that don't have that designation of origin, meaning they can use the Sangiovese grape from a multitude of different places. Whereas once you go up the scale, it gets more and more and more refined, and single family estate is what I could equate it to for like in Napa.
Right.
So yeah, it's just you can get some pricey Chiantis, and then you can get some really affordable ones. But again, the wine stewards, like when I was working as a wine steward at Cantoro's in Plymouth, that's where I got my crash course in Italian wines by Captain Ignazio Tattuli. He was from Puglia.
That shit sounds made up.
Oh no,
it's
not. Google it. USA Today. He was a cruise line captain for 30 years.
And that now sounds made up too.
Yeah, I know, right? Doesn't it?
It's like the beginning of a porn movie.
Captain
Ignazio Palazzo. He's the captain of the cruise ship, eh?
So he gave me a crash course. So Riesling and Chianti, or
I like it.
Or Pinot Noir if you want to stick to
That's always fine.
True American. Just a Pinot Noir from Willamette if you want to get really fancy and impress your friends and your family. And then if you are going to get a Riesling, get one from up north. Get one from Michigan.
You want to go with a Michigan Riesling over a German? Okay.
Like Simplicium.
The one I like, North Star, does some good stuff.
Or is it
Black Star? Not North Black Star.
I was going to say there's 45 North, and then there's Black Star Farms. You got
Black
Star.
Yes.
And they bought out a place, and they opened up a bed and breakfast. I'm dying to go try it, because it's been there for probably 10 years now.
Yeah.
But we're dying. We just teacher life can't squeak away. But yeah, we're looking to do that for sure. This was nice. This Murphy Good was nice. It was a little bit of berry, a little bit it's all right. It's all right.
They even and with these bargain wines too, these are great for individuals who are trying to learn about wines, because it even has on the back blackberry, cassis, thyme.
Oh, there you are.
Like your flavor notes that you're supposed to get on there.
Right.
Oh, here we go.
Little cheat sheet.
Here's another screw top. So this is from Mari Vineyard. So this is on Mission Peninsula. So Sean,
digging for crap. I can't.
Oak Island.
You
got it.
Yeah, Mary Vineyards. That's a cool vineyard. We've been to there because
very cool.
Yeah, the vineyards are cool, and I love do you watch the Oak Island?
No, because they never find anything. Every episode's the same.
A button.
Oh my god, we're gonna find something.
They found a button. They drained the whole swamp,
an entire season to find a fucking button,
and they found a button.
And you keep watching.
I haven't watched.
They found a lot more than that, actually, but it's good. It's good stuff.
I had a wine snob buddy who told me never buy a bottle of wine unless you see the words produced and bottled by the same in the same location. That's a big deal to him.
Is that a good clue?
It's a good indicator as long as you know the
Cheers, microphone.
Smash.
Yeah, you don't.
It seems gratuitous.
And with mine.
I was gonna say you don't have your protective foam on over there.
No, I don't. I need to be wrapped in protective foam.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So bottled and produced, it is a good indicator. But I'll tell you this: Michigan wines and that community up there that's on the Leelanau Peninsula and the Mission Peninsula, they all play so well together. They are so great about bringing awareness to the wines, and not just the wines, but the agriculture up there, the cherries, the stone fruits, the grapes, and protecting that. I've, it's very communal. And I know a lot of wineries, they work together, like Mauby Sparkling. So I worked for Mauby, and they have one of the original, and I believe the largest sparkling production facility in Michigan because all they produce is sparkling wine. So a lot of the sparkling wines, if you go up north and they have a sparkling, typically it'll say
produced and bottled.
Well, it'll say bottled in Sutton's Bay,
Sutton's
but they'll
Bay.
be like in Fenville, for example. So like
okay.
Modales.
Okay.
It's a little quieter when you do that thing.
Yeah. Thank
play.
you. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I know we have to be.
So we're swirling our wines, and when you don't have it on the thing, it's like
it resonates into the microphone.
Anyway, fair play.
Yeah. A buddy of mine sold his company and retired and bought a vineyard up there.
Oh my God.
3 trees. I couldn't remember the name of it because it's kind of off the path. But he just got started and he's just getting going. It was kind of a defunct vineyard. He's like, I'm going to do this in my retirement. I'm going to buy this vineyard and do this.
Yeah, cool.
So he's up there doing that.
That's
now.
what I want to be when I grow up.
That's where I want to be right now. How many acres is he on?
Oh, geez. He's right on the 45th parallel, right in Leelanau. It's called 3 trees. I don't even know how much he's producing. He's only had it for like 2 years. I don't know if he's putting anything out just yet.
Okay.
But the websites are live, put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if the booze. He will bring it down every holiday. He'll come in. He'll used to be. He'll try to meet me in Hamtramck and here, try this, and give me all these little sample bottles with the lids on them to try different wines that he's working on.
Pass along my info because I like to be barefoot in a bikini in the vines. Okay, that's where I like to be. I like dressing up, but honestly, no, I just barefoot with some pruners. Okay, and I'm happy.
Clip.
I'm happy with that. Sunshine. Oh yeah. I mean, there's not. Trust me. There's times where I've harvested for Big Little Wines and it was beautiful. I had beautiful weather, but I've heard horror stories of, when you've got bad weather, but you got to get the fruit off. You have to get it off because it's money that's sitting on there. And if you wait a day, you're losing thousands, tens of thousands.
So this is not a sweet German wine, as my father would always say. You can't drink German wine; it's too sweet. And his name's August Gitschlag, but he's like, no, that's my name too. He's just not into German wine; it's just too sweet for him. But he's
the OG.
Yeah, he's the original. Yeah, the OG AG.
Okay. OG AG. Yes. Oh, I love it.
Yes. German Lutheran gets mad if anyone shows emotions. It makes them uncomfortable.
Fair play.
Yeah. So Simplicium, this Riesling is more on the drier scale. So this would be a perfect white to bring to the holiday dinners, because it's something that's palatable for everyone. And it's a good palate cleanser. It's got some good acid to it. So when you're eating that, all that butter, cheese, that's fatty. This will cut right through it.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
So you did allude earlier to, I'm going to drink white wine out of a red wine glass. Does that really matter? Because my girlfriend swears a bigger opening on a red wine makes it taste different. And you try it out of 2 different glasses, you'll taste 2 different products.
You will. So these glasses these
are
glasses,
more white wine glasses.
Yes. Well, these are. So I bought these specifically because they cater to sparkling, white, and red.
Okay.
So these are ones that I use when
I should just buy them when they're on sale at Marshall's.
No, I don't know. You know what? So Riedel glasses are only sold for specific retailers. So if you do see anything in those stores, I don't even know if they have them. But you're correct. There's different glasses for Pinot Noirs, for your big bold reds, like your Amarones that are big, need to open up big time, and then same with sparkling. So Madeline Trefan, she's the first female master sommelier of the United States, and she resides here in Michigan, and she will only drink sparkling out of a white wine glass. She will not drink it out of a champagne flute.
The person telling me, I tried to call bullshit on her. She's like, I had the same wine in 3 different kind of glasses, and it tasted 3 different ways. I'm like, I think that guy was telling you that, and you were just like staring at him like,
buying it.
Yeah, wine guy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. It does taste differently. You're so handsome.
Tell me more, Fabio.
Exactly. Over here, they just want to soak the corks, But I thought she was full of shit. But so I had to ask.
Yeah, no, definitely huge difference. Yeah,
Sorry, Catherine.
If Grandma wants to drink, her cab out of a coffee mug because she doesn't want anyone to know, let her do it because it tastes better to her, right? It's secrecy.
Sure,
it's that secrecy that tastes better.
Yeah, it's not like Hoda and Jenna Bush crushing wine at 10 in the morning on TV every day. Giant glasses.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to say something weird about this, and you tell me where I'm at. So, doesn't taste like banana. It's not banana, but it's meaty. The taste of this is meaty. There's a viscosity, I guess, in this. Is there like it's hanging on a little bit? There's like a little bit of viscosity. I don't know I'm not getting the flavor. It's not banana, but like when you bite a banana is like kind of meaty, right?
Sure.
So this has got a meaty viscosity that's hanging on.
You're a meaty viscosity.
I like it, but I like it. I'm just trying to describe it.
Yeah, so it's
in a fancy pants way.
Yeah, so it's
for people who are listening to us drinking.
Right.
I'm trying to
paint
so
a picture
with my words.
So everyone who is
like Jess,
into this
who said
later.
hi, just Psycho, Jess, Psycho Jess.
Yes.
Oh,
cheers. Cheers,
cheers,
Psycho. Cheers,
Jesse.
Jesse. Yeah. Thank you. But so I'm just trying to describe it with words while we're sitting here drinking and enjoying.
Yeah, so you'll get something, everybody will get something a little bit different. You might get some of that
but there's a viscosity.
Yeah, so almost like the sugariness of like a pineapple, how that has that weight to it, and that but not the sweetness, right?
A weight.
So you'll get a weight to it, a viscosity to it. And if you think that's got a weight to it, there's some whites out there that they're almost like waxy. Like there's a lot of Georgian wines that have this really, you guys, I think we're just like, no pun intended,
we're
just popping.
We're just spilling stuff on the
popping.
table.
Yeah, we're just popping the cork right now
on
what we could get into, because there's some wines out there that they're really cool. Like you'll smell them and they smell like green pepper, but then you taste them and they taste like raspberries, like black raspberry, and you're like, whoa. Or you'll smell it and it'll smell fruity, and you taste, I'm not even kidding you, jalapeno without the spice. Jalapeno. Yeah.
Ooh.
Honesty.
Good.
You're pulling that one back, huh? You reached way deep to pull out honesty.
Honesty.
I don't know what the reference is, but I'm gonna laugh anyways.
It's an old
comedian, ventriloquist.
Oh gosh.
Jalapeno.
Talking jalapeno.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Jeff
Dunham.
Yeah, Jeff Dunham. Yeah.
Pull the Jeff Dunham out of your ass.
A jalapeno one.
That's pretty much the man cave right there. Pulling things out of our backside, just way obtuse references.
All right, so we've had 2 whites, 1 red. I think we should finish up with 1 more red and tell us why you picked it.
Yeah. Any of these or something you tempting us with?
Come on, I got it. All right, you know what?
Hey, but it's an hour and a half. We'll keep going, man.
We need that Chilani. So this is going to be Napa Valley. This is 2021, and it's called The Family. So this is Cabernet Sauvignon. And when I pull this cork out, there's going to be some sediment on it because these are unfined, unfiltered. I worked for this gentleman, Tom Chilani, who is a Detroit native, him and his wife, Vicky. And their winemaker is Mark Harold. Mark Harold worked for Phelps. So Phelps was a very big, prominent, well-respected, still is, wine house out there. But so I was their national sales manager for 2 years, and I was very blessed and grateful to be able to travel at least the Midwest with these wines. And this is one of the best.
You gifted us a Solani a bottle opener.
So it's Chilani. Back in the day.
Chilani,
back in the day, everybody would call him Cellini, Tom Cellini, but no, it's Tom Chilani.
All right, the Chilani.
Well, now we have an official wine opener.
We do. Because I had this janky,
gets the job done.
Yeah, so take a look at that cork.
Got rid of that guy.
Oh yeah.
It's dark. It's dark.
That is.
So this is a man cave wine. This is incredible with Arturo Fuentes cigars. Okay, and Arturo Fuentes cigars. So the Fuentes family, they actually know Tom, and they do. They put on the charity cars and cigars every year.
Oh, thank you.
I know. I'm trying.
No hurry.
There we go.
I'm still enjoying this white over here. I think we need this. Like I said, I think we need you back for like 10 episodes.
Yeah, dude, one just white, just red.
There's so much because we can talk about your wines.
There's not much to talk about my wine. Just drinking stuff.
There's so much to do.
Make wine because it can.
Yeah, but this this cab, I haven't had the 21 yet. I know I've had, I think as far back
that
as
is the
17.
sound of swirling wine, folks.
Oh yeah, sorry. I need the paper towel to muffle.
Makes sense. It makes sense. It just sounds what it sounds like.
It is.
All right, now you got to explain the swirling of the wine. That's something else I always thought was
Just
just
breathing it, adding air to it, not oxidizing, but
Aerating.
oxygenating.
aerating. Yeah, you see
Aerating.
those, put the decanter in and then pour it out. It's a
Yeah, and then just
What
so
are
you guys know,
those
this
super deep?
alcohol,
Yeah.
15.5%. So
Oh,
this is
30
a
proof
big
wine.
this
yeah.
is a big boy cab.
Yeah,
This
it
is a
is.
man cave cab.
Oh.
All right.
It smells strong.
Oh, it is.
does.
It is. I'm gonna leave this bottle and we'll see what happens in
All
the
right.
morning if you like me again or
we're gonna-
but yeah,
so
no,
that's a thing. It's like I don't drink cheap booze. It's like it's
you
when
don't
you're
want
like,
to.
it's like,
No.
why was I always so hungover in college? Because you were broke and you drank cheap garbage.
Boone's
Yeah.
Farm,
Now
made
that
out
you're-
2020.
Now that you're older, you're buying better
My softball
spirits.
team still goes through 2 bottles of Boone's Farm
Oy.
every game.
Oy.
Third inning, crack it up. Cannonball coming.
But listen,
As long as it's not the
consistency.
blue one.
Consistency. It's been consistent for decades,
the
right?
same shit.
It's the same.
The same shit. It is apple
Same
wine.
horse
Yeah.
manure.
Just never the purple one, the light blue one that tastes like suntan lotion.
Mm.
We're not allowed to buy that one anymore.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Chilane Family Vineyards out in Napa, and really great family, really good. They give a lot back to the community. Forgotten Harvest, Capuchin Soup Kitchen. So yeah, I'm very blessed to
So
have known them
California-
and worked
California
them.
wine, though?
You got it. Yeah,
All right.
but Detroit roots.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay,
the family
okay.
is very, very they live here. And Tom has a couple other businesses, but yeah, they're very involved with charities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I was expecting when you said the proof and then the nose. I expected it to be very strong.
Correct, but you don't get the heat.
No.
It's yeah.
So we call it the heat. You know, when you're drinking a wine and you're like, oh gosh, it's like burning.
No, we use that when we try bourbons too.
Yeah.
We know when it's hot and when it's not.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, so this one does have a very high percentage, but you wouldn't know
Mm-mm.
unless I told you that, hey, you guys take it easy over there.
I'm not even gonna say it's soft. It's flavorful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not overly bold. It's I wouldn't say it's not bold, but it's not bold. Like it's that's not bringing the heat.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Where are you at with it?
I just think it's delicious.
Mhm.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is a good
actually,
wine.
this is I would drink this all the time, and I haven't drank this in a long time, so now I want more. Thanks, Tom.
Tom is here to drive. Tom is like, that's why I got the hat, and that's why I'm driving. Oh, that is nice.
So, have you found a favorite wine all of a sudden because of all this wine you're now exposed to? Is there something that you've like, oh, this is my jam? I never would have done this if it wasn't for my wife, and now I'm. Oh, a Scotch guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
Logan loves his scotches and his whiskeys.
Scotch.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you love scotch. Scotch.
We were using a fake name, so we didn't have to out him. But now now his name's out there. So
Yeah, no, that's
look out, internet. Logan's here.
Yeah, bodyguard. Yep.
She definitely got me more into the sparkling side of things.
Oh,
the
so you said that he got her more into the sparkling.
That whole world of
Yeah.
I realized the beauty and the complexity of different sparkling.
Yeah, I softened your palate a little bit. So we needed to because your RBF is just too strong sometimes.
Mhm.
Your RBF is it's on point. We could take classes on that. But
You
yeah,
know, that's a really brave thing to say because men stay away from the sparkling wine. It's just not
Mhm.
something. It's always something you equate with like New Year's Eve or a baby shower or something like that.
well, what did you
it's-
think about this?
It's good. Like I said, I really liked it.
I enjoyed it.
So there's a sparkling red wine from Mauby, and it's called Red. It's REDD. But they make a limited release of it, and it's barrel aged red, and it's sparkling. August.
Okay, so
I will try to find a
Google
bottle of that, and it's very, even though it's sparkling,
actively Googling.
it's manly. Yeah, that thing is manly. Yeah, it's Red, REDD by Mauby Sparkling. It's one of the coolest, unique sparkling wines I've ever tasted, because everyone's like, oh, if it's a red, it's going to be like a Lambrusco from Italy and have more of like the fruit and the berries and a higher residual sugar. It's like, no, not this one. This one's very unique, very different. But yeah, the world of wine, you guys, I mean, that's why I got into it. That's why I got out of IT I've always just had a proclivity to just learn more about, there's tens of thousands of varietals in the world.
Oh yeah.
And
Easily.
specifically
sparkling red wine, not anything that was ever on my radar.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back to the cheap wines.
Yes, let's do the cheap
Yeah, we'll
ones.
wrap it up with a nice little cheap wine lesson.
No. But
No, I'm
the
serious.
thing about them is it's like you're like, all right, I like I'll have that list linked in the show notes,
Mhm.
and then people can go, all right, at under $20, $11, $12, that one was like 19. You could buy 2 of them. Or you can buy one and try it at home, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna take that one here. I'm gonna take one. So you're not dumping a bunch of money. You can try them, and then you're like, okay, I will take that and share with friends.
So do you want to take the Pepsi Coke challenge right now?
Oh,
let's do the Pepsi Coke challenge.
Sure.
Right. So we've
Blind
got Chilane Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm not going to tell you how much that retails for. Jamie, why don't you pick out either the Decoy Cabernet Sauvignon or is that Bogle? Is that a
Bogle,
cab?
Yeah. That's a cab. No, it's a blend.
Let's do the Decoy.
Essential red. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just do that one because that one's always on the Wine Enthusiast list.
Yeah, the Decoy. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that one.
Are we gonna crack? Oh, yep. I'm giving it to
She's
the pro.
a pro.
Giving it.
You're gonna give it to her. He's gonna put it in the middle of the table, make her reach.
Make her
across.
reach. Dick. I didn't want to knock things over.
There's a lot of glass
I
here.
got lots of
There's a
things.
lot of glass.
Is this
I am
making you nervous? This is
astounded.
nothing.
Yeah.
All my glasses don't
We're
have
s-
stems. I'm a stemless wine glass
Yeah.
guy. I just don't trust myself around this stuff. You know.
Well,
We
I mean,
need-
after a
we need-
bottle in,
Yeah.
I don't either. I usually switch over.
We need weebles that
Yeah.
wobble and don't fall down.
Yeah, the
That's right.
Weeble wobbles.
Those are
Oh my
weird.
gosh.
Those stemless glasses.
Yeah.
Colleen hates
Yeah,
those.
I've seen those.
I
Those
get why people hate
I like to pour
I think
those
they're
for my friends who are already a little half in the bag just to see if they're like, and I'm like, ooh, you've had too much to drink, huh? Okay, so what we're gonna do, Pepsi Coke challenge, right? So
Yeah,
these
yeah,
are
yeah.
both the same vintage, 2021.
Okay.
Now I have to remind myself of where is Deca? I don't know where they gather all of their grapes from because I'm sure it's from different areas. But anyhow,
The Duckhorn people. Is it Duckhorn? This is the lower end of the Duckhorn folks, right?
I'll be honest with you. Maybe
The sounds of wine bottles running across the table.
Yeah, it's the Duckhorn
know.
folks. It's
Yeah.
this is the
that's
didn't
the
quite
entry
make
level.
entry level Duckhorn.
Yeah. So since you do have your beautiful white paper towel, you can even though the lighting in here is a little dark, you can see the difference. This Chilane cab
That's 'cause I
way
didn't have
darker.
my makeup guy didn't show up today, so that's why the lighting's a little darker.
Oh, I love this.
My hair and
This is-
makeup people were not
no,
here.
this
That's
is-
why I'm wearing a hat. It's
I know. That's why I was gonna put.
Oh yeah,
maybe
the
I should've put
Chilani
my
is
hat on.
much darker. Yes.
Yeah. So you see how dark that is compared to the Decoy.
Yeah.
Same vintage, but
So
again,
we're gonna-
oh, even the smell.
well, that's one thing I noticed right away was just how dark this was. Having looked at
Yep.
lots of wine and filtered, I filter
Mhm.
my wine though, and even though it looks like it's nice and sparkly, you run it through the filter and like, oh my god, look at all that sediment. And even though we racked it once and all that, so but yeah,
could
there is a difference.
smell and Jamie, you smell that difference, don't you? Yeah, big
the
time.
decoys. I don't know. It's a little poopy.
More shit references.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
not like a good horse.
Oh my
poopy.
god, that's absolutely poopy. I just thought I stuck my nose up a horse's ass.
It's a little. It's not. It's not.
Oh.
That is not. That is not.
I know. Do you even want to sip it? Do
I'm
you wanna...
going to.
All right, let's
It's
do it.
not
All right, come on,
pleasurable.
guys. Let's do it.
Is this
Sink it.
bottled by diapers?
Ugh. Ugh, I'm sorry. I can't restrain myself.
Ah.
Oh God, natural reaction. Oh gosh, I feel
You
so
can't.
bad.
You can't drink it next to this.
I
It's
can't. No, you can't.
no, you can't.
And decoy's a fancy one.
Ugh.
All I'm gonna smell
Who's
is
It's a
goat
fancy.
shit.
It's the
Jamie?
fancy
Just
of the
straight up
cheap.
shit now. It's all I can smell.
Yeah. It's poopy. It's
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
nose. It was poopy.
Fart
it was
wine.
seriously poopy on the nose.
All right.
Anyway.
So I'll tell you this about that. If you decant that decoy,
Yeah.
all right, and aerate it, you might be able to lessen the poopiness. That's my professional
But I'll have to hit
opinion.
the fan because
You-
it's gonna smell like someone deuced.
Yeah, you could.
Man.
Yeah,
It's-
huge
I
difference.
can't get
All
away
right.
from it now. It's just
Mhm.
all,
I
it's
didn't
in my brain.
aerate it at all.
You can keep fucking with it if you want. I'm done. I got good options here.
We got there's a sink in the other room. We're
I
good.
got plenty of
Okay,
options
so
here.
The
how
man
much?
the man cave has a sink.
How much was it decoy.
The decoy, I'll tell you exactly. I have the receipt. I took a picture of the receipt because I wanted to be able to talk about
price points.
Mm-hmm. Next, then I'll tell you the price. I'll have you guys guess.
$16.97 after the
You
10%
paid
discount.
$15 too much.
$1.99 was about the price on that. All right, and then
Chilani.
Chilani. Chilani. All right,
Guess.
so Chilani. So I want to say
$24.75.
So I want to say like
August. Come on, come on.
I was gonna say like in the 40s, because it's so nice, but you're like teasing that it's
I didn't know where you're going, and that's why
it's
that's why I
affordable.
lowballed it.
Ooh, good. I've got a good poker face still.
You do.
All right,
I want to
put it $50 bottle of wine.
I want to put it in the 40s.
Well, you'll have to double your guess point.
This is $100 bottle of wine.
So anywhere from 90 to 100.
Okay.
Now, back when I sold it,
Fair play.
Prior to inflation, that was about it was like 80. It's an $80 bottle.
Okay.
But now, if you go and you want that bottle, it's going to be 90 to 100 retail.
All right.
But it's worth, every penny of that because this is limited production. So they don't. So Chilani Family Vineyards. I wish I hit my numbers right, but they only do 5,000 cases, maybe 13,000. I don't know. I'm kind of shooting at pew pew pew. I'm shooting in the dark.
When I've had unfiltered wine, it always was a different flavor to it. It's just, but it also, and this is oversharing, it will make me fart if I drink too much of this.
Really?
Unfiltered wine and Belgian beer, two things that'll make me toot the next day like you wouldn't believe.
More poop references.
Yeah,
I love
it. I
it.
figured we were out there talking about it. So
good thing your girl's out on an out flight. So
she's actually landing right now.
She's coming back in.
Get it all out, but not right now. Wait until I leave.
Oh yeah,
Please,
don't worry about that.
For the love of God, I'm
She'll
surrounded by testosterone right now.
Yeah, we have not had a fart episode. We're not. This is Drew and Mike where we stand up and fart in the microphone like Terrence and Phillip.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh, I just the Chilani is nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's
nice.
Yeah. So is it Metro? Is Metro? You said it's California wine, Detroit connections. Is it readily available in the Metro Detroit area?
Oh yeah. So you were talking about Woodward. I can tell you right now, if you go to Woodward Cellar, Nick will have it over there. ML, Caicos.
Woodward Cellar.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Woodward Cellar?
On Woodward.
On Woodward.
It's in Birmingham. Yeah.
There you go. It's on Woodward.
Yeah, it's in Birmingham.
If only you had this thing in your pocket that you could hit the name of it in and it'd tell you where it was,
Just,
I know that computer, like a supercomputer.
I know. I just use it for gambling.
Oh my God.
Well, there's gambling connections to Tom actually too, which is funny.
But yeah, so somewhere on the phone. All right. Oh my gosh. We'll try to put links to everything because we talked about a lot.
I know we did.
Edible Wow is the magazine. She got a hard copy of it. That's cool. It's an online thing too. I would assume.
Yeah, it's online.
So the Edible Wow. So this is on the line. And people, are they available in places like, if you're at the Westmore Market or Trader Joe's, it'll be there in the magazine rack? Or...
Yeah, so whomever, and you can subscribe to it too as a private citizen.
Fair play.
But Edible Wow stands for Wayne, Oakland, and Washtenaw. So it's a culinary focused magazine. So it's everything, culinary focused. And my article that I did, it was specifically, believe it or not, it was on non-alcoholic libations.
Yeah.
But yeah, great. It was, I love writing and I'm always open to, taking in new topics or things that people want to explore and put out in print. And like I said, I love learning about people's stories. I really appreciate you having me on. And for once, kind of interviewing me. And usually I'm the opposite. It's like, no. I don't want to talk. I want you to talk to me and I will help you if you're not a good talker. So I can extract information.
I do like the thinly veiled insult to Macomb County for being left off the name of the magazine.
Well,
yes.
I think so. There's Edible Traverse City. I think there's Edible Grand Rapids. They're all over the country. Yeah.
And then Macomb County, they're just doing
However,
edibles.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just doing edibles, right?
Or kratom. I see tons of that down there. I'm like, ooh, guys, what are you getting into?
Macomb County. Macomb County, going to Macomb.
Oh.
Yeah, I live in St. Croix Shores.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I can make fun of my people.
Kristen, thank you for
Yes,
being
this has
here.
been wonderful.
Oh, thank you,
This
August,
is-
Jamie. This is super cool.
Yeah, I just we've scratched the surface. There's like we
Yeah, we
bounced.
did.
I think we bounced all over the place. Apologies to people trying to follow this conversation. It's like, should we just do something fluid and natural? I go, that's kind of how the man
That's kinda how
cave
we do
goes.
it. Yeah.
But last way, yeah. I'm hoping you would, you guys both would want to come back and hang out and maybe focus on something. Maybe focus ourselves.
Well, I
down.
think this is a great idea to have you on every year right before the holidays
Yeah.
to talk about
I
wine.
would-
When people buy a lot of wine as gifts, people want to they
Mhm.
bring it to. It's kind of a cop out gift, I think sometimes. But if it's good wine and they can talk about it and say something about it, then it's a little bit more to it
Yeah.
than just I grabbed this at the gas station on the way
got
over
it.
here.
You
Yeah.
got
So,
it. As long as you've
I
got
think
a
that'd work.
story, as long as you've got just a couple sentences like, hey, I was up north in Traverse City, went to Mari. Have you seen the curses of
And it
Oak
doesn't have
Island?
cherries in
Love
it.
that.
Yeah, it doesn't have cherries,
Doesn't
which
have
there's nothing
cherries
wrong
on
with
it,
cherries.
Nothing wrong with cherries.
But as long as you have a little bit of a story to tell
Yeah,
and a connection,
absolutely.
Yeah.
and it's and you're not talking about politics with your family, right?
good
You're
Lord,
talking about
yes.
wine.
It's
yeah.
gonna happen
There you
anyway,
go.
but-
So fill your head with the stories of the wine that you're bringing, so you don't have to talk about politics.
Yeah.
Yes. So Jesse and Charles and Callie, they all chimed in. Thanks for
Mhm.
joining the conversation and
Yeah.
being there while we're doing this. So like, subscribe, leave a comment.
We miss you, Matt Fox.
Missing Matt Fox like a
like a mad
I was
fox.
really
Matt Fox,
nice
like
today.
like a Mad
Because
Fox.
usually I'm really mean to Matt, and it's kind of like our shtick.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have anyone to pick on today. So it's.
Well, I mean, you've got my husband over there. He's got
Oh.
the Indiana Jones hat on.
fucking kidding me? Look at him. I ain't take messing with him.
I know. That's why I lie to some
He's
people.
got like
I'm
18
he's my
inches on me. I
security
got
guard.
That's like,
Yeah, bodyguard over
what
there.
What do we do? So MrsVino.com is the best place to get started, and there's springboards from there
Yes, sir.
to all kinds of things. So we'll do it all again very, very soon. Thank you
Yes,
for
yes.
Thanks for being here.
sharing the treats. Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
That's Jamie Fox.
That's August Flanagan.
Making up names. The wine's
all
kicking
right.
in.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you all again next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Be well.